Imagine waking up one morning and suddenly the entire entertainment world is on edge. Major studios, streaming giants, and even news networks are caught in a fierce fight that could change everything we watch, how we watch it, and who controls it. This isn't just another business story. This is a historic battle for the heart of Hollywood, one that has creators, actors, executives, and even politicians watching closely. Why is Hollywood nervous? What's happening behind the scenes? And how could this reshape the future of movies, TV, streaming, and even journalism? Today, we're breaking down the timeline that has Hollywood extremely nervous right now and why the stakes are so high. The spark that started it all. This story begins in late 2025, when a fierce bidding war erupted over one of the most iconic names in entertainment, Warner Bros. Discovery. Once considered untouchable, Warner became the center of a dramatic takeover battle involving some of the biggest players in media. Initially, Warner Bros. Discovery was on track to sell its studio and streaming assets, including HBO, Max, and DC franchises, to Netflix in a deal valued at about $82.7 billion. But just days later, everything changed when Paramount Skydance jumped into the fray with an all-cash hostile bid to take over the entire company, not just parts of it. And what followed next was a series of moves that has made Hollywood nervous like never before. December 2025, a hostile bid rocks the industry. On December 8, 2025, Paramount Skydance, led by media heir David Ellison, launched an aggressive bid worth roughly $108.4 billion to buy Warner Bros. Discovery outright. This was not a friendly merger, it was a hostile takeover. Just days after Warner had agreed to an initial deal with Netflix, Paramount's bid forced the board to reconsider. And suddenly the future of one of Hollywood's oldest studios hung in the balance. The Warner board initially rejected Paramount's hostile approach, recommending shareholders stick with Netflix's offer. But this rejection only set the stage for more drama in the months ahead. Early 2026. The bidding war escalates. The new year brought fresh tension. Paramount didn't give up. It increased its offer, sweetened the terms, and added strategic incentives designed to persuade Warner's board and shareholders. One such incentive was a so-called ticking fee, a quarterly payment Paramount promised if the deal dragged past certain deadlines, showing just how determined it was to win. Meanwhile, Netflix remained committed to its own merger plan, placing Hollywood in the middle of a massive corporate chess game. February 26, 2026, the turning point. Everything changed on February 26, 2026. After months of upheaval, Warner Bros. Discovery's board made a stunning announcement. It declared Paramount Skydance's revised offer of $31 per share as superior to Netflix's existing agreement. This was a pivotal moment. By deeming Paramount's bid superior, the board legally opened the door for Warner to walk away from the Netflix deal, and 4 business days later, Netflix declined to counter the bid. Why? Netflix called the revised price financially unattractive and strategically unnecessary, especially given Paramount's aggressive approach. With that, Paramount Skydance emerged as the winner, securing an agreement in principle to acquire Warner Bros. Discovery for approximately $110 billion, one of the largest deals in entertainment history. The Netflix twist. A surprising outcome. One of the surprising sideshows of this timeline is Netflix's unexpected choice. After months of competition, Netflix walked away from the fight, refusing to raise its offer beyond its original bid. And instead, it collected a $2.8 billion breakup fee and repositioned the company to focus on its core streaming strategy. That move sent Netflix's stock price up, reflecting investor relief that the company avoided taking on too much debt. However, some analysts saw this as Netflix's strategic retreat from a costly battle it may not have won, but Hollywood is shaking. This isn't simply a business deal. It's a game changer for the entire industry. Let's break down why Hollywood is on edge. 1. At media consolidation and power. If Paramount's acquisition is completed, one company could control an unprecedented portfolio of content. Warner's iconic franchises like Harry Potter, DC Universe, and Game of Thrones could be unified with Paramount's own library of Mission, Impossible, SpongeBob, and more. That raises questions about market power, audience choice, and creative diversity. 2. Impact on jobs and creators. Industry insiders worry that huge cost savings projected by the merger, estimated in the billions, might result in job cuts for writers, actors, and behind-the-scenes crews. Critics like the Writers Guild of America have warned that industry consolidation can reduce opportunities and squeeze out creative voices. 3. Regulatory scrutiny and politics. This deal isn't a done deal. California's Attorney General has publicly vowed a vigorous regulatory review, warning that the merger could harm competition and eliminate jobs. High-profile politicians have also weighed in, adding another layer of uncertainty. 4. Fear over creative direction. Hollywood creators, directors, writers, and producers are worried that a media giant of this size might prioritize safe, formulaic storytelling over bold, artistic risk-taking. That fear has reverberated across guilds and creative circles as the timeline unfolds. 5. Journalism and newsrooms affected too. This deal doesn't just impact movies and TV, it includes news networks like CNN. Staff at CNN and other outlets have expressed anxiety about how ownership changes could affect editorial independence. The waiting game. What happens next? Although Paramount and Warner Bros. Discovery have agreed on terms, the acquisition still needs regulatory and shareholder approvals. Experts estimate the merger could take several months to more than a year to finalize, and some components could face legal challenges or antitrust blockers. During this waiting period, Hollywood remains tense. Every regulatory hearing, every public comment from politicians or industry leaders, and every shareholder vote could shift the future of this deal and reshape the entertainment world. What this means for viewers, if the merger goes through, fans could see major changes in how content is released and marketed. Streaming platforms may be consolidated, studios could adjust release strategies, and competition might shrink in a way that affects pricing and choice. Some imagine a world where fewer companies control most of what audiences watch, a scenario that makes many filmmakers and fans uneasy. Others see potential benefits, like bigger budgets for blockbuster franchises and more stability amid a turbulent industry. Either way, and Hollywood is watching, and so are audiences worldwide. This timeline isn't just corporate drama, it's a story about power, creativity, and the future of entertainment. The decisions made here will echo for years in theaters, on streaming screens, and across global media. If you want more deep dives into major Hollywood news and what it means for your favorite movies and shows, like this video and subscribe for more updates. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think this Paramount-Warner merger will be good or bad for Hollywood creators and fans? Share your thoughts in the comments below.